In this video, I'll show design aspects of high and low-tech innovation. In the future, we'll grow our own vegetables and herbs with the Kitchen Nano Garden by Toyota. New technology offers this possibility by the use of LEDs. In the ship containers by Square Roots in Brooklyn, one grows locally fresh vegetables that are delivered directly to the consumer. A ship container offers, because the space is used vertically, the equivalent of a football field of agricultural grounds. Variations in light and nutrients influence color, texture and taste. When the world population will grow to 9 billion, in 2050 urban farming will be necessary. The Netherlands, after the United States the largest exporter of food, will take the lead in this technology. The plants and herbs will grow in 12 layers on top of each other and are fed by aeroponic mist that uses 95% less water. Salads can be harvested 20 times per year. Hydroponics is a method to grow plants by the use of mineral nutrients in water without earth. The advantages are 30 to 50% faster growth, less use of water, the water is being reused, no soil is needed, no nutrition but waste, less diseases, less pesticides and less labor intensive. The vegetables grow in a container. Because of the LEDs, it is always spring on the inside of the ship container. One is experimenting with all kinds of shapes in a rotatable housing. The vegetables are in such good condition that they do not need to be washed. In this way, complete apartment buildings can offer fresh vegetables in an urban surrounding without long-lasting transport, especially when the supermarket is close by. This picture of company Bilbo that I took around 5 years ago in London showed for the first time ever the possibility to grow herbs with LEDs in a special spectrum. A similar product is now for sale at IKEA. I was a few years ago the stimulator of the Rotary District Conference in Purmerend, the Netherlands, about the blue economy by Günter Pauli, who describes in his book 100 business cases and who has created more than 100 million jobs. I've always been interested in innovation. In my book that has been published 12 years ago, I've shown already a lot of innovative technologies. Sometimes it takes a long time before they become mainstream. This is an edible ball with water by Uhu, made of algae extract to save water bottles at festivals and at marathons. 2 years ago, I assisted with the design of 5 private jets for a Chinese customer of Fokker by making mood boards with color, style and material. This is an example of the office of the future, where one can lean, lay down or hang, etc., because sitting is the new smoking. Innovation is associated with recycling. This dome is made of hundreds of recycled umbrellas and plastic bottles. Still another example of a vertical eco-farm for China, where vegetables can be produced the whole year over, of lightweight material. It supports the local economy and is offered close to the market. Do you recognize the number series of Fibonacci in this huge umbrella? Fresh air can be admitted and unwanted sunshine can be excluded. Woodskin, a composite material of multiplex and vinyl, makes the surface flexible and suitable for interior and design. In the same manner, Japanese designer Issey Miyake developed in collaboration with my supplier AT&T in Italy this surface of an artificial material on a textile base. This is a mirror with a 3D image of clouds that are lighted by LEDs at the top. This socket, already launched more than 5 years ago, can be stuck to the window of an airplane or office to charge a device. More than 1.5 billion people do not have access to electric light. This sturdy light, the Waka Waka, a Dutch product, is charged by the sun and gives, depending on the setting, up to 80 hours of light. When buying a Waka Waka lamp, you sponsor a specimen in a third world country or war area. And in the meantime, the green living wall is accepted, also in shopping malls. And we see regularly the application of green roofs. But the developments are already much further. This is the Marina Bay Sands Hotel in Singapore, a gigantic hotel with a swimming pool and nightclub at the top that I photographed a few years ago when I was there for a lecture. Next to the hotel is a huge park developed to be as self-sustaining as possible with an enormous greenhouse. A closed ecological system here photographed from the top, with a tropical rainforest with walkways high in the air. In the park we can see the so-called super trees. These enormous artificial trees made out of steel filter water and air. Waste is used to generate energy to cool the greenhouses. The landscape of the park is shaped in such a way that one uses the tropical rains to the max by the use of geothermics. This is the station of Kowloon opposite Hong Kong with green roofs. In architecture we see facets and straight lines, but also streamlined, fluid shapes of the female architect Zaha Hadid, who recently died too young, of whom we see here an example. The Dutch fashion designer Iris van Herpen applies 3D printing in her futuristic garments. Shortly ago, the first of a series of Print the Future shops opened in New York, where your furniture can be printed within 24 hours, to your taste and ID. Also, in the medical field, 3D printing is applied, where a cast is measured for that is light and strong, does not itch, but ventilates, and besides that all is recyclable. In my innovation book for 2005 I showed already examples of pleating, of shapes based on Japanese origami. Samira Boon worked as a Dutch architect several years in Japan and developed a computer-animated way of weaving fabrics in origami style, applied in interiors. Also garment designers experiment with pleating and the so-called shibori technique. Energy supply is another topic. Here an inflatable floating wind turbine that can be transported to the place where the wind has free play. The car has sun collectors. The in Japan developed so-called wind lens technology would have 3 times more output than the regular wind turbines and can be placed under bridges. Duxelsum has developed a unique prototype, the so-called Sky Serpent, to generate energy in a simple way. This mobile windmill charges a USB device far away from the inhabited world. It is folding out and consists of several accessories, with which the satellite telephone can be charged, or other devices with a USB connection. In my book I also show colored LEDs and applications. In the practice of a dentist the colors can be adjusted, and the same is true for the tiles that can change colors. This is the Samsung Flexible Roll, a retractable display inspired by antique scrolls. This concept bus shows the application of transparent LCD screens, where one can show, for instance, city routes. One can look from the inside outside, but not from the outside in. Shortly ago, these chairs by Japanese designer Tokion Yoshioka were shown during the Milan Design Week. The chairs, made of LCD screens by LG, are programmed in different colors, quite an experience. This house by company Kudu is a portable, prefabricated home that is self-sufficient and can be adjusted as to the functionality and size. To be placed to the side of your dreams. They can be stacked, in the desert or at the waterfront. And this is a town development plan in South Korea. The Belgian architect Vincent Callebaut has developed plans for Paris Smart City 2050 for 75 greenhouse gas emissions reduction. There are plans for several towers that have to supply energy, amphibian bridges with wind turbines. Green areas as an important part of the city. Large towers following the rules of bioclimatism and renewable and recyclable energies in short loop through innovative systems. Here a visualization of historic Paris with solar, hydrodynamic and planted towers, bio-air conditioning. Anti-smog towers, an ecological corridor for 23 kilometers in the heart of Paris, punctuated by depolluting photocatalytic towers. Modern Paris with photosynthesis towers, a piezo-electrical park, that is electricity through vibrations, built in a vertical spiral, with organic facades of green algae. Bamboo nest towers with thermodynamic garden towers planted with food gardens and orchards on balconies, integrated in existing architecture. Mangrove towers, photosensitive towers that are part of Gare du Nord that you can still see in the distance. Farm scrapers, at the edge of the city, a vertical farm where green is brought back into the city. Ideas for gigantic stacked glass pebbles, a proposal for densely populated China by the same architect. This is a luxurious residential tower complex in Taipei, Agora Garden, that has been completed last year, in the shape of a double helix with use of rainwater and solar energy. And finally, the existing luxury complex The Gate, also by Vincent Callebaut in Cairo, with courtyards and super trees. When you would like to stay informed, then visit my website www.milouket.tv.